Hey, what's going on? Phone just went off right in the middle of me going live. What's going on, you all? How are you? Hope you're well. I'm gonna try the best that I can to make this short and succinct or to the point. I'm gonna try. No promises. No promises. You know how I am. You know I can elaborate stuff like that. But we're gonna go on ahead and dive into Heavy Duty Country. His YouTube page. Don't know too much about him, but I saw yet another criticism of the USCCA with regarding to the Kayla Giles case. So let's go on ahead and dive into it. Let's get some more people in the comments section and stuff like that because I do want to discuss this. I started watching the video, and as I started watching the video, and by the way, this is not paid for by the USCCA. This is not paid for by anybody. This is just me providing my commentary and not an attack against Heavy Duty Country or any other person other than just stating the facts. Yes, I do have USCCA come into my classes and offer people insurance because I know of situations where the product has actually worked and it's done what it's supposed to have done. It did what it was supposed to do for me. So I can speak to that directly. But see, there's a problem in the Second Amendment community where that we are not speaking about some of the things that we need to be speaking about. And, it's see, people want to be members of the Second Amendment gun community, but they don't want to do the work to avoid getting in unnecessary conflict, if that makes sense. And so that type of stuff needs to be discussed. I'm struggle streaming right now. Look at the Wi-Fi quality and stuff like that. All right, it's back up. Do me a favor, share this, because this is something that needs to be discussed. It needs to be discussed. This is one of the reasons why I'm glad that I ride with facts and not fiction. One of the reasons, do me a favor, hit the likes and stuff like that. This is one of the reasons why I'm glad that I ride with facts, not fiction, and I don't go with people like attorneys on retainer or even law of self-defense with Andrew Branca for whatever the reason may be. There becomes a level of unreasonableness when you're talking about what you expect out of self-defense insurance companies or just insurance companies, period. It's like we expect the insurance companies to govern our irrational behavior and our illogical behavior, some of the things that we do. And that's not the case. That this is something that should ever happen. So let's go on ahead and dive into it. I want to hear what he has to say, and then I want to go on ahead and react to that. Here we go.
You can expect the USCCA to completely trash your character in order to save their own ass. Okay? Just so you know. So the member who got screwed over by USCCA is Kayla Giles. And for those of you who are unclear, I'm going to give you all a brief overview of what happened with this case because there's a lot of BS in the media right now, especially coming from USCCA. Kayla and her ex-husband were not doing well. They were arguing a lot to the point where Kayla tried to get a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied or approved, but Kayla and her husband had a child custody exchange, and they decided to do it in a Walmart parking lot in broad daylight. They got into a heated argument. Kayla tried to remove herself from the situation. Remember that.
Now, already I have a huge problem with what he's saying because all you have to do is just do a little research. Those of you all who know me, I'm a criminal justice professor, a former cop, military, whatever that matters, but all you have to do is do a little research. It's not hard to do research. Let's go back just a smidgen, a pigeon, for you to hear what he had to say. And it's clearly evident that he didn't do any research, and then I'll show you what the research stuff that you could just Google for whatever that's worth. And by the way, let's look at it. This video he dropped, what was it? 12 days ago. 12 days ago. March 6th is when he dropped this video. 12 days ago. And it's got 370,000 views on his channel, Heavy Duty Country. Go check him out. If he's a great guy, like him, subscribe, all that great stuff. I'm not attacking him. I'm just attacking the specifics of his argument. And clearly he is advocating for attorneys on retainer because he has the link there and all that other great stuff. And if you want to join, that's your prerogative. But I like informed opinions. Informed opinions. And his opinion is obviously not informed. Let's listen to it again. And then I'm going to show you where he clearly missed the mark on the research that anybody could have done. Let's go.
At a child custody exchange, and they decided to do it in arguing a lot to the point where Kayla tried to get a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied or approved, but Kayla and her husband had a child custody exchange, and they decided to do it in a Walmart parking lot in broad daylight. They got into a heated argument. Kayla tried to remove herself from the situation. Remember that. She went and walked back to her car, tried to shut the door and lock it. He followed her in an aggressive manner and tried to yank her door open. And Kayla...
That is not even the facts. That's not even the facts. Like, that's the problem that I have. And this is one of the reasons why I will always honor my father and mother for allowing me to have an open mind to be independent, not conservative, not liberal, not left, not right, not Republican, not Democrat. I'm in the middle. I follow the facts. So without delay, let's go on ahead and go to the appeal. See, when we go to court documents, we get to see what the information actually shows on the record. What it actually shows on the record. See, perhaps this is one of the reasons why you need insurance that's going to afford you a lawyer, because if we left it to people like him or even people like me, right, who are just of our own opinions, thoughts, and things like that without any research and knowledge of the law, it is very possible for you to listen to someone and for other aesthetics decide that what he is saying is correct. So let's just go on ahead and look at it right here. So this is the state of Louisiana versus Kayla Jean Giles Kuti, the person that he is stating that USCCA dropped. And this is the Court of Appeal of Louisiana in the Third Circuit, docket number 22-655, decided October 25th of 2023. So let's get to the facts of the case. This is the facts and the procedural posture. And you can go there, you can find this on caselaw.findlaw.com. Here we go. Defendant and Thomas Kuti were married in 2014 and they had one child. Their marriage, however, would not be characterized as harmonious. In 2018, defendant and Thomas separated. The separation was not amicable, to say the least. Defendant reported, Thomas reported defendant to law enforcement authorities that the defendant had slapped him during a custody exchange. So already the facts of the case shows that she had been the aggressor before. She had been the aggressor before. So these are the facts of the case, right? Let's continue, okay? The defendant complained to her friend, Jennifer Dennis, that Thomas slammed a car door on her leg during exchange, right? In retaliation, defendant slapped Thomas, right? At an August 2018 custody hearing, defendant indicated that Thomas had jumped her during an early incident. Now, these are all allegations with no proofs of the matter asserted. No video evidence offered to state that, and it's easy. We're in 2024 now. We are in 2024. So there is no reason not to have any video evidence of your matters that you are asserting that something happened. If you were trying to find somebody cheating, you can record the, you see what I'm saying? There's always ways to find evidence. So miss me on the, we don't have any evidence or anything like that. Okay, let's continue. Mr. Dennis relayed that in early 2018, the defendant told her she wanted to kill Thomas and asked if she could borrow a gun. Come on now. And this was stuff that was later discovered at trial, right? Stuff that was later discovered at trial that was later found out after the defendant was arrested throughout the course of the investigation. Okay. And I can tell you as a former homicide detective that we get enough evidence to be able to make the case and get felony approval, but that's enough probable cause to detain and bind over for trial. But the case still continues. The investigation still continues. The defendant told her she wanted to kill Thomas and asked if she could borrow a gun. Mrs. Dennis refused to loan the defendant one of her guns. Later, the defendant sent Mr. Dennis a picture of a black handgun she had purchased. The defendant also asked Mrs. Dennis if she knew anything about self-defense insurance. This is premeditated. This is premeditated. Premeditated. The same research that I did is the same research that heavy-duty country could have done. The same research that attorneys on retainer could have done. The same research that Andrew Branca with Law of Self-Defense. He's a lawyer. This is the same information and the same research they could have done. They could have reached out to try to speak to the detectives to try to find out what facts and circumstances the detectives knew at the time of the arrest, to come to their opinion about what evidence they had to be able to make the case. But instead of doing the research, we go with popular opinions and aesthetics to cause you to think negative about an insurance company that dropped the right person responsibly. Let's get to it. In August of 2018, the defendant sent a message indicating that she had deleted all of her social media accounts and that she might, quote, make the news. Later that same month. Now, he talks about an order of protection. Let's get to this tab. Here we go. He talked about the order of protection.
Decided to do it in a Walmart parking lot. There's a lot of BS in the media right now. It's a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied, especially coming from USCCA. Kayla and her ex-husband were not doing well. They were arguing a lot to the point where Kayla tried to get a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied or approved, but
you know why you don't know? You don't know because you didn't do research. It's not hard for you to simply do research. Here we go. Later the same month, the Ninth Judicial Circuit issued a mutual protective order that, among other things, prohibited them from possessing firearms pursuant to Title 18 United States Code, Section 922 G8. Mutual, 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 mutual. Mutual protective order. No one knows if it was approved. How don't you know? You don't know because you did not do research. Here we go. Also in August, the defendant began researching Louisiana self-defense law and concealed carry insurance over the internet, both on her computer and her mobile phone. And I can tell you as a detective, this is easy to find out. And on August 27, 2018, contrary to the court's protective order, the defendant purchased a Ruger LCP handgun chambered in .380 automatic Colt pistol from an Academy Sports and Outdoors location in Dallas, Texas. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives Form 4473, obtained by Academy, which was required for all commercial firearms transfers or purchases, indicates that the defendant was not subject to a criminal background check because she held a valid Texas concealed carry permit, also known as a license to carry. The defendant also purchased concealed carry insurance from the United States Concealed Carry Association on the same day. During a custody hearing in 2018, the defendant accused Thomas of bringing a gun to a custody exchange. During the defendant's trial, Jessica Giles Austin, the defendant's sister, confirmed this accusation. In the meantime, Thomas filed a pleading seeking a new trial on the district's custody order, along with the demand for the reimbursement of money and an order for contempt. And the pleading was served on the defendant September 7, 2018. On September 8th, 2018, the defendant and Thomas met in a Walmart parking lot in Alexandria, Louisiana, to exchange physical custody of their child. The defendant's children from a previous relationship were going to accompany Thomas on this occasion as they were going to the illustrious Chuck E. Cheese to celebrate I said Chuck E. Cheese, but Chuck E. Cheese to celebrate their child's birthday. After the children were in his truck, Thomas approached the defendant's vehicle and opened the driver's side door. The defendant shot Thomas in the chest, killing him. While the defendant described Thomas jumping towards her and jerking her door open, the defendant's daughter, A.S., stated that Thomas walked towards the car, which contradicted a recorded statement she had gave earlier. So the defendant's daughter contradicted her statement. This is not hard to find out. It's not hard to find out. All you got to do is just Google it. It's not hard to find out. Let's go. Surveillance video. You know that thing that we get as detectives when we go do our canvas and our investigation? Obtained from a nearby Sonic restaurant depicted the incident, although the video was taken from afar and the picture is not of the highest clarity. The defendant was seen closing the rear side driver's door and proceeding to the driver's door. Thomas can be seen walking towards the driver's door. He opened the door. Thomas stepped in a way that he was obscured by the camera door, obscured from the camera by the door. He stumbled back and fell to the ground. The defendant remained on scene after the shooting, called 911, identified herself to responding officers as the shooter. She was promptly arrested and gave a recorded statement that she shot him because she was scared of him. Approximately 2 weeks before the incident, the defendant had entrusted her laptop computer to her sister, which the defendant delivered in a flowered bag. The defendant made calls from the jail. Amongst them was a call to Miss Austin, during which Miss Austin asked the defendant if someone could take the flowered thing from her. The defendant told Mrs. Austin, that no one was searching for it and that it, quote, doesn't exist. Mrs. Austin told the defendant she was worried about herself, and the defendant told her, give it to Jennifer, give it to Jennifer. Mrs. Austin gave the laptop to Mrs. Dennis, who lived in Achita Parish, and neither Mrs. Austin nor Mrs. Dennis were asked to damage the computer or delete files from it. The police became aware of the existence of the laptop during the investigation, and the detectives obtained the laptop, from which he retrieved self-defense insurance contract dated September. Now, this is way before the arrest. She wasn't even arrested yet. She was not even arrested yet. Come on now. How many of y'all still in the comments? Sign up in the comments if you're still watching this. She wasn't even arrested yet. She wasn't arrested yet. And they're discovering these things, right? Research on self-defense law dated September 4th, and a notice of intent to relocate with a child created September 4th in a message in August 2018 from the defendant stating that she might make the news and might need fundraiser for bail money. This is all premeditated. All premeditated. All premeditated. This is premeditated. Here we go. Let's go ahead and go. We don't know whether or not what happened.
I'm going to give you all a brief overview of what happened with this case, because there's a lot of BS in the media right now, especially coming from USCCA. Kayla and her ex-husband were not doing well.
Fact.
They were arguing a lot, to the point where Kayla tried to get a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied or approved, but Kayla and her husband had a...
Okay, so now that I've read to you what I've read to you, sound off in the comments. What do you know about the order? What do you remember that I read to you about the order? Was it a one-sided order, or was it a mutual order? And was it approved that both of them have to stay away from each other? Sound off in the comments. It ain't hard to do research. It's not hard. The order was mutual. The order was mutual. See, before you go jumping ship from USCCA, you got to be careful not to follow herd mentality. You got to be careful not to follow aesthetics. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to go there. White is right. Come on now. Come on. No shame, no judgment. No shame, no judgment. if you are one of the ones who automatically believe white is right, hey, you entitled to your belief, but you might be letting somebody screw you because of the aesthetics. I'm not one of them ones to bring in the race card. I'm just talking objective statements that were previously made and things that motivate people to decide to do things. The aesthetics, good old country boy, white being a thing, nice shirt, holster, leather, sniper in the background, American flag, good old Texas, don't mess with the aesthetics are all, and what do? You listen, good old country boys are cool, and you jump ship from a person who, I don't know him personally. That's not what this is. But this is clearly his opinion, and his opinion is highly flawed. The facts of the case that are easily researchable, he did not do research. And his page got 370,000 views. That's a lot of influence to influence you to decide what's good for you. He's not going to live your outcomes. It's what he say that that's the one thing I have not heard any of these critics say, that what she did was the right thing to do. Tell me if what she did was the right thing to do. You don't hear Andrew Branca, an attorney at law, lawofselfdefense.com, to say that what she did was the right thing to do. Can anybody say that what she did was the right thing to do? This was clearly premeditated. And every insurance company, not just USCCA, not just Delta Defense, the service provider to USCCA, Allstate would drop you if you planned a car accident to get insurance money. State Farm, Jake from State Farm, he wears khakis. They would drop you. Everybody would drop you. Everybody would drop you if in the investigation it was proven that you knowingly sought us out to get rid of your husband because you didn't want him to take your kids. Everybody would drop you. And so what do we say as the members and partners and representatives? I'm not a representative of USCCA, but I strongly support them. You see what I'm saying? What would we say? Would we say that USCCA did the responsible thing after paying $50,000 initially to use the lawyer to try to help her, only to fall, oh, wait a minute, we can't pay no more into this. We can't pay no more into this. That was the responsible thing to do. Would you be willing to have your money that you are paying towards USCCA used to fund her defense? Sound off in the comments. Let me read some of your comments. The fact still remains that insurance companies can choose not to cover you based on their exclusions, even if you acted in good faith and self-defense. Stop moving the goalpost. Stop moving the goalpost. Stop moving the goalpost. Don't tell me about what insurance companies will do, because you still got your car insurance. You still got your business insurance. Let's talk facts. You didn't read that policy, and even if you read it, you still don't understand it because you probably can't read past your grade level that you're supposed to be reading at. And even if you could read at your level, that doesn't mean you understand the industry language used in the contract therein. That's why they tell you to get a lawyer who specializes in that area so they can interpret it to you if your lawyer don't screw you as well. So stop moving the goalpost to try to fit an argument, because whole time we got a better conversation we need to have in the Second Amendment community. Why USCCA been telling you to register for the Protector Academy and to go to these other classes, but you don't want to do it because you think you know everything. Whole time, most of you all live in safe communities. You don't have a lot of crime. You love to speak up things about Chicago and things about other places where crimes happen, but you don't never get tested to find yourself even to have the need to use this insurance. The fear of crime makes you afraid, not the actual occurrence of it, because you don't have much crime where you are. Unlike where I am, we got a lot of crime, and the need for us to have to use it, just like Jacoby in Lexington, Kentucky, who had to defend himself and the USCCA had his back, but not for the USCCA, where would he likely have been? Where would he likely have been in that given situation where he had no other choice but to defend himself? So what I'm telling you is this: you have to analyze for yourself whether or not it works for you. Whether it works for you. That's all that I'm telling you. You listen to somebody like him who click and see, that's what made me jump on live and talk about his video, because clearly he did not do research. Clearly he did not do research. All right. Let's go down to the bottom of this appellate case, because there is something that the appellate court said that made all the sense in the world. Hang tight. Let me get to it. Sound off in the comments. I see your comment, Tac D. I'm not really entertaining that comment because I'm focusing on this. You're not even worried about you. You're not even worried about, are you going out there looking for conflict, trying to test to see if the insurance works? Because whole time, a percentage of you in the Second Amendment shouldn't even be owning guns because you're irresponsible persons. You really need anger management. You really need behavioral management. You really need therapeutic courses. There are a lot of other things that you need before you can even put a gun in your hand. You probably joined the military and got out the military and wonder why the system and the VA failed you when whole time it was your parents who failed you. Because if your parents raised you for who you should have been, you probably wouldn't have joined the military in the first place. A percentage of you joined, just like me, for security and sustenance, and you're in denial. You expect the government to come through. You'll talk about black folks on welfare, but you won't say nothing about the welfare of you relying on the government and relying on the VA like they owe you something. Thank you for your service. See, that sense of entitlement, it stems more from just the poor in the black community. Here we go. Angel said it right here. I use USCCA with an issue at work and no issue 8 months ago. That's what I'm talking about. What does it mean for you? What does it mean for you? Don't let these people who live in a podunk mountain town out in the country where family matters, and sidebar, family absolutely matters. I love the fact that those towns exist, but those towns in part are sometimes sundown towns where the darkies aren't allowed to go in that town, because if you do, by God, you're going to find yourself to have some kind of by God problem. You see what I'm saying? So you don't want to talk about that shit. So I'm glad you got your nice town, but you don't represent me. You don't live in Chicago where the threat of crime is real, where the threat of death is real. The threat of death is real. And then you said USCCA encourages members to avoid a conflict. Any insurance company expects its holders to mitigate potential damage. Absolutely. And the USCCA does an outstanding... Hold on for a minute. The USCCA does an outstanding job telling people about, here we go, telling people about what to avoid and getting into the Protector Academy, so that, not even just the Protector Academy, just training, period. Why do we have to beg you to go get training? Why do we have to beg you to go get training? How do you think you're going to have eyes and ears for these things? You're not going to have eyes and ears for these things because your brain hasn't been exposed to all the potential things you need to avoid. That's why you need to get training. But no, how many of you absolutely log in and watch the video? How many of you take anger management courses? How many of you take CPR courses? How many of you do the extra stuff, or do you? We don't need to have the government tell us that we need to go get training. I've been owning a gun for a long time. My daddy had gun, my great granddaddy had gun, and by God, I don't need you telling me about this by God training and stuff. And meanwhile, it was a surprise. I had to stand my ground. You didn't have to stand your ground. You chose to stay in that situation. Without that gun, you would have ran. But now you got that gun and you want to try it in a small town. I don't think you'll get far. You see what I'm saying? That's the conversation we really need to have with that gun. You wish a motherfucker would till a motherfucker do. And now you want the USCCA to come through for you when your ignorant ass didn't avoid that conflict, because we ain't got to run no more. That's the conversation we need to be having. That's the conversation we need to be having in the Second Amendment community. No, I'm not looking to be popular. Fuck you if you don't like this thing. I want to save lives. You don't have to be in that conflict. You chose to be in that conflict. You didn't have to not know the facts of the case. You chose to not know the facts of the case. When all you got to do is Google the shit and see that she started this fuckery. It's amazing how we talk about red pill issues and men's rights and supporting things about fathers being in the lives of kids. And here you clearly see this bitch. And I said it what I said. I don't give a fuck if you don't like it. This bitch wanted to kill the father of her kids so she could run off with them kids. Fuck that bitch. I said it. Mark it down. She wanted to kill him so she could run off with them kids. And you want USCCA to back that. Fuck you if that's what you want. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. He deserves a right to be here. He should be alive today. And the problem is he's dead because he trusted her. He trusted her. All the fights that they done had, and he's still trusting her, still trying to be a co-parent. Craig, you gone. Bye. I'm gone. I ain't got time. Go talk stuff on your own channel. Get out of here. We don't entertain trash. He's banned and removed. Why does this have to be an issue about race? I'm not that type of person. If you've been following me, you know I don't do the black card. You know I think that the black culture is toxic. There's a difference between black history and modern black culture. So miss me. You don't know who I am. But right is right. And I'm talking about the mindset that people are in. The mindset that people are in. And you saying, damn, USCCA just wants your money. Well, every insurance company wants your money. Your attorney wants your, what the fuck you thought? Shit was going to be free? The fuck you thought? What kind of sense of entitlement do you think you have that you entitled to a defense that's affordable? You got your crazy ass in the fucking conflict, but then you want a cheap ass defense. You should think about that shit before you get into conflict. You should think about that shit before you get into conflict. But you ain't got a problem paying for pussy, do you? You ain't got a problem paying for alcohol. If you look at all the bullshit that you pay for, how much money did you spend on that bullshit? You ain't got a problem with that, but you got a problem paying for insurance that you might not need, but when you do need it, it's there. Come on, make it make sense. You're not ready to have a real conversation on this here motherfucking platform, because I'm going to bring it to your ass. You ain't got no problem paying for that bullshit, for that trip to go to whatever fucking country you went to with that woman who really don't like your ass, but she played like she liked you whole time. She just wanted to go on a ride and suck you for free because it ain't shit to suck a dick, because that's what she been doing, and this you ain't nothing but another dick. You don't want to have that conversation. I'm just saying, you don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to have that conversation. You don't want to have that conversation. Come on now. I'm bringing it to you. Who you think sit in front of me and talk about their anger management issues or their stuff when they're trying to come to therapy or counseling or whatnot? Miss me on the bullshit. Miss me on the bullshit. Don't tell me that they just want your money. The shit costs money. You know what else is free? Conflict avoidance. Conflict avoidance. If you don't want to pay that money, don't fucking own a gun. Go run. You don't have to own a gun. Anybody said you had to. You got the right to bear arms. Anybody say you had to bear arms. You chose to bear arms. So pay that money to protect yourself and your family. Because you know whole time you ain't ready for that public defender action. You're not ready for that. You about to let this boy gas your ass. Man, but you know what I'm saying when we say boy, because it ain't a disrespectful thing, unlike what has been told to us. You don't have no problem with this boy sitting here conflating the issues and you listening to his shit and his shit popping views. But when I sit there and deliver the facts, motherfuckers got problems. The facts. All you gotta do is read the case. All you gotta do is read the case. It's not that hard. Just read the fucking case. And the thing is, with my 1 million followers, all those are just spontaneous subscribes, but no bell for notifications. This probably won't even do numbers. That's the bullshit. This probably won't even do numbers. But if you got somebody you value who want to hear the truth about this bullshit case, bring them to this page. Bring them to this page. Bring them to this page. Let's continue because I want to get down to the rest of the facts. Here we go. And I'll get to that comment in a minute. And do me a favor, y'all look, smash the like button. Matter of fact, let me hear the rest of what he got to say, which is going to buy me time to be able to read this.
Child custody exchange, and they decided to do it in a Walmart parking lot in broad daylight. They got into a heated argument. Kayla tried to remove herself from the situation. Remember that. She went and walked back to her car, tried to shut the door and lock it. He followed her in an aggressive manner and tried to yank her door open, and Kayla shot.
Now, how bad can you be when you introduce a fact that's not even in evidence? In fact, this isn't even a fact. You know why this isn't a fact? The daughter refuted the testimony of the mama who tried to say. The daughter refuted this as a fact. It's just bullshit. It really is. Now, I got a question for you, young sir. Did you used to have a signed contract with the USCCA to be an affiliate? And then because of this case, attorneys on record or on retainer are now paying you more? So it's just like Dave Chappelle said, Coke or Pepsi, can't taste the difference. It's just who's paying me more. If USCCA is motivated by the dollar, what say you? Country boy. Look, come on. I'm just saying, it's not hard to know buddy ass line. You lying about it. That's not even in the court record. That's not even on the camera at the Sonic. That's not even on camera, fool. The facts and the circumstances don't even show that that's to be the case. It's just crazy. And so the convictions and the sentences were affirmed, but I'm trying to find this part where the court even talked about the triers of fact, no matter whom it might have been, would have still come to the conclusion that she did it. It's crazy. Here we go. Yep, there we go. That's why I just wanted to find it, because it was in there. I read the case law. Here we go. Let me blow this up for you so you can read it for yourself. Put it on the side, right, Sean? Here, no, not right there, fool. Where you at? Bam, right there. All right, here we go. Bam, here we go. The state's theory posited that the defendant set a trap for Thomas. Sign off in the comments. Would you agree that the defendant, Miss Kayla Giles Kuti, or whatever the name is, how you say it, did she set him up to get shot and to have someone to defend her? Did she set that up? Did she set that up? Yes, she set that up. Okay, this is an indisputable fact. Here we go. Next, the evidence of premeditation has already been discussed as has the evidence that might indicate the defendant acted with justification. The same evidence that forces us to conclude that any rational finder of fact could have arrived at a guilty verdict also requires us to include that the complained obstruction represents, at worst, a trial error and not a structural defect of the constitution of the trial. This assignment of error lacks merit. She was guilty. She was guilty. She set him up. She tried to kill him so that she could run off with the kids. How many of you all have heard of situations of women doing that? And this isn't all women, but let's not act like this doesn't happen. It is clearly the case that if you were to testify in court, let's get to that page. If you were to testify in court as to whether or not your testimony is accurate, it is clear that your testimony is not accurate because these are not the facts.
What happened with this case? Because there's a lot of BS in the media right now, especially coming from USCCA. Kayla and her ex-husband were not doing well. They were arguing a lot to the point where Kayla tried to get a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied or approved, but Kayla and her husband.
I'm going to address your comment, Tac D, and I'm about to destroy your ass. You stand by. You stand the fuck by because I'm about to have fun with you. And just remember, you asked for it. Let's continue.
Had a child custody exchange, and they decided to do it in a Walmart parking lot in broad daylight. They got into a heated argument. Kayla tried to remove herself from the situation. Remember that. She went and walked back to her car, tried to shut the exchange, and they decided to do it in a Walmart. Yeah, Kayla and her ex-husband were not doing well. They were arguing a lot to the point where Kayla tried to get a restraining order against him. No one knows if that was denied or approved. But
so is it true, in fact, that no one knows if it is denied or approved? Is it true that no one knows if, in fact, it is denied or approved? Now, I want to address this comment by Tac D, who said, and there is nothing wrong. Matter of fact, hold on. I got to get this because you asked for it. And you know, here we go. Where we at? All right, there it is. Tac D says, and there is nothing wrong with anyone scared of their husband searching for insurance laws and laws. And it's okay, especially in the blue states, because you know they will come at you for only the low price of 5 cents a day. You too can say that it's okay for her to search him up, which it is. Ladies, you don't have to be a victim of self-defense. You don't have to be a victim of violence. You don't have to be a victim of domestic violence. You too can get an order of protection that says he is to stay away from you. It should never be the case where you have to fear for your life. It should never be the case where you should have to be a victim. You are to not be a victim. You are to be a victor. I urge you to go to the courts and get the order of protection. Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you did go get the order of protection? Well, shit. What does it read? I'm happy for you. Later the same month, the Ninth Judicial Circuit Court issued mutual protective orders that, among other things, prohibited them them, both of them, from possessing firearms pursuant to Title 18 United States Code Section 922 G8. Also in August, the defendant began researching Louisiana's self-defense law and concealed carry insurance over the internet, both on her computer and her mobile phone. And on August 27th, 2018, contrary to the protective's order, no, we wouldn't violate the protective order that you went to go seek out and get, would you? No. The defendant purchased a Ruger LCP handgun chambered in .380, and she knew that she didn't have to go through a background check, which could have revealed the presence of an order of protection because she had a valid concealed carry permit, where she also purchased concealed carry insurance from the United States Concealed Carry Association later that day. And prior to then, early in 2018, the defendant told her being her friend Jennifer Dennis, that she wanted to kill Thomas and asked if she could borrow a gun. Mrs. Dennis refused to loan her one of those guns, and later the defendant sent her a picture of a black handgun that she had purchased. She also asked Miss Dennis if she knew anything about self-defense insurance. And in August 2018, she sent the message indicating that she had deleted all her social media accounts and that she might, quote, make the news. What say you, sir? What say you? What say you? And as Dominic Cantanilla said, if she was so scared, why didn't she do the exchange of the kids at a police station? Conflict avoidance 101. None of this would have ever happened. She did less calling of the police than Nicole Brown Simpson and the people of the state of California versus Orenthal James Simpson. I mean, at least call the police and let the police tell you there's nothing that they could do. But she said, fuck that. She said, fuck that. I want to kill you. Because you're not going to take my kids from me. And when we say USCCA was responsible enough to see it and not waste members' money, since USCCA just wants everyone's money. Well, yeah. Well, how much do you think a criminal defense cost? Take it away from USCCA. How the fuck you think they're going to pay your car insurance claim? You thought that the insurance company just came with money? They're going to pay it with your money. How you think Social Security is funded? With your money. You get paid on Social Security from the money that other people are now putting into the shit. Come on now. You can't be, you know what I'm saying? When you don't know where shit comes from, oh, let me guess. You think money grows on trees. What? Come on now. Come on. Cook County, Illinois. Bare minimum for a murder case, $250,000. How many Jordans you gotta pawn just to get that shit? And you don't have drug dealer money. You don't have drug dealer money. You can't afford the best attorneys. And here's the funny thing that I still have yet to hear from Andrew Branca, Law of Self-Defense. Shouts out to him, otherwise still a great attorney. And then attorneys on retainer, know nothing about them, but thank you for your service, for helping the people you've helped, I guess. People don't understand that systems are not just paper. Systems are people. Somebody type it in the comments. Systems are not just paper. They are people. I could see attorneys on retainer coming to Cook County, Illinois, this shit would be funny as hell. Going before the court, Your Honor, for the record, Mike Brown, attorneys on retainer, seeking leave to file my appearance on behalf of the defendant who stands before you in open court. We are asking or filing an oral motion for discovery and setting it down for a status date in the event that state can't tender discovery. The judge don't know you. The judge sees your license to practice law in the state of Illinois, but they don't know you. You don't understand that even the defense attorneys and the state's attorneys are all a part of the same bar. They all go to the same functions. They mingle. They go to continuing legal education courses. They have conversations. They attend events. Their children go to the same school. The legal community on the prosecution and the defense side, they are a community. And the type of attorney that you have that appears before the Honorable Judge Thomas Condon or the Honorable Judge Miriam Muhammad, I think that's her last name, or the Honorable Judge, who's my favorite? Judge Beach, Charles Beach in Bond Court at Layton Criminal Courthouse in room 100 or 101. I hear during the pandemic, outside of my law enforcement experience, during the pandemic, we were blessed with the opportunity to be able to see the legal process. If you didn't pay attention, I know I did. I hear how Judge Beach and other attorneys react to the defense attorneys who appear before them. Hey, it's nice to see you again. All right, tell your family I said hi. That shit matters. That stuff matters. And attorneys on retainer doesn't have that. They would be just a, we don't know nobody sent. If you don't know about Chicago politics, you don't understand why going with somebody else outside of this county is going to fucking screw you. And you don't know it. And are you willing to find out at that moment? And even if your case is in a different county, you don't get a lawyer from Cook County to go to Will County unless they know that attorney very well in Will County. And you a defendant, so you ain't thinking to ask those questions. You don't know to ask those questions. I know firsthand experience. I had to fire my friend in my first case. I had to fire my friend, well, it was friend Lee, in my first case, who was a Cook County attorney, and get an attorney in another county because they didn't really know him like that. Those things matter. Relationships matter. Don't find out when it's in my case, wasn't even a high profile case. I mean, it was high enough, but it wasn't a high profile case. Don't fuck around with your life like that. Don't let this man, boy, whatever country boy, he don't live where you live. He don't know shit about the system, the criminal justice system, where you live. He don't know shit about that. Don't let him fuck your shit up. Because that's he ain't going to be the one that's going to do that time. He not going to come and testify for you in court. Well, I was the one that told him to do it. That's not going to even be objection, Your Honor. What relevance? It's not even relevant. You picked your lawyer. This motherfucker who's out of town. You don't know shit about Cook County politics. He don't know nothing about Will County, Sangamon County, Johnson County, Iroquois County. You don't know shit about that. Sometimes you got to tell people to respectfully stay in your motherfucking place. Stay in your place and mind your shit. Don't tell me shit about Chicago because you wouldn't step foot in this motherfucker. You a Navy SEAL. Out here, you'll get killed. Because there you had a team. You ain't got no team here. You by yourself. You said An out-of-town lawyer usually doesn't get treated nicely as a local attorney. If you get a specialized attorney, they're going to be prepared for that. Facts. Systems are not just paper. They are people. And people are affected. You don't get resources without relationships. And you don't get relationships until you understand the right people for the right relationship. That's with any ship. Well, it's time to go on ahead and drive this boat. Here we got Captain Johnson. Captain Johnson has been an airplane pilot for the past 20 years. The fuck? Wrong ship, fool. This is a fucking boat. You fly planes. This difference. No, go sit your, fuck, go to Southwest, fool. You belong over there. We need the motherfucker from the Love Boat. Love just exciting and new. Come aboard. We'll take that. You got to tell people to stay in their place. And that's what the fuck he should have did. It wasn't hard for you to just look up the case. I'm just saying. Even in relationships, you trying to think that this man is going to be for you forever when he just with you for the fuck. He on a different ship than you on. You got to understand how to put people in the right ships that they qualify for. Well, I got convicted of a murder because, motherfucker, you hired a traffic attorney. Oh, attorneys on retainer suggested them. Just because the motherfucker wear a nice suit and smell like Tom Ford don't mean he good. Just because he got a big, look, everybody got a big dick till it's time to fuck. I'm just saying, people will sell you the lie you willing to buy. Come on, man. Hate me or not, do your research and find out if the shit's true. And don't let people like him sell you for the consequences you gonna have to live. You gonna have to do that time. You gonna have to try to get that expungement. You gonna have, come on now. Everybody said they could do something. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I want to see the shit. I don't want to hear it. I want to hear it. This motherfucker don't even read. He may read. In fairness, he may read. I don't know if he read or not. He may read. He may read very well. But clearly he didn't do research. And I say motherfucker respectfully, not motherfucker personally. I just don't like it when people gas you up. Hell yeah, I'd have him on my show. Hell yeah, I'd have him on my show. You tell him come on the fuck, tell him come on over. And none of this bullshit, because here's this. This is what he did in the beginning of the video.
Yeah, I know. Here's a little.
Hold on, here we go. This is what he. Now, this right here. Is this still showing? I just want to make sure. This is what he did in the beginning of the video.
Portion of him being Tactical Tim.
Hey guys, Tim Schmidt, aka Tactical Tim here.
Look, the one thing I don't like is when you got people like him trying to make fun of somebody trying. Bullying is a real thing. Maybe the owner of USCCA or the CEO of USCCA don't have the skills that you do. That's not his specialty. Whole time you was probably infantry. You don't understand that you the pawn that's made to die, fool. So we who are about to die salute you. Yes, we salute your ass too. Go right the fuck the head and go do your dying. You see what I'm saying? People like him be the first one. Boy, look, fuck that shit. Without that gun, what would you do? I'm just saying, I said what I said. You chose to go die. We who are about to die salute you. The rest of the poles and the persons who's other than infantry, a piece of garbage, I'm happy for the fueler. I'm happy for the cook. I'm happy for the finance. I'm happy for the medic. I'm happy for the commo because everybody fucking matters, including Tim Schmidt. And you was sucking his dick when you was getting that money from USCCA. Now you found a bigger dick. Tell the man if you want to come on my show, he can. Tell the man if you want to come on my show, he can. You was all, oh, Tim. Now you riding for another one, and clearly you didn't read. Now you riding for another one, and clearly you don't read. I'm just saying. This is all just opinion. I don't know him personally. He could be a great guy outside of this bullshit opinion. But in fairness, one attack deserves another. You don't get to talk about Tim and not us talk about you. And then here we go. You wasn't even in the military, so you didn't even serve. But you giving the appearance as though you did. So that's cap right there. Whole time, how effective are you with that bullshit ass shoulder holster? You see what I'm saying? The nerve of you to try to attack somebody and you ain't got no book learning skills. Your Twitter fingers or Google fingers don't work. You couldn't look up the damn case. No, you don't get to attack somebody like that when all you had to do was motherfucking read. That's all you had to do was read. So yes, I'm pumping hard because I don't look. Y'all know me. Hey, facts, stats, opinions, knowledge, skill, ability, confidence, competence. Those things matter to me. Fuck all that other gas and bullshit. Because the motherfucker still didn't say what he would have done differently. Would he have done the same thing? Immanuel Kant's categorical imperative. Act as so the maximum would be willed as universal law. Would we say as a matter of universal law that what she did was the right thing? And should USCCA have continued to spend all that money to get to what was obviously going to be a conviction because she premeditated the shit? And then looking at it from a civil aspect, what if Thomas's family decided to sue USCCA and then in deposition, they later learned, wait a minute, motherfucker. So you knew that she used y'all to try to cover her ass and you still covered her? Oh, no, fuck. And then they would have opened themselves up to unnecessary litigation. That's why you don't lend to people who don't think and who don't have the knowledge to be able to play chess and think 12, 25, 30 steps ahead to see where this is going. You don't lend to him to be the one to give you an opinion. The fuck does he know? A bunch of attacks and attack ad hominem shits. All you had to do was go to case law. You just Google the case and just fucking read with your attorney buddies and ask them, what the fuck does this shit mean? But if you know this guy and you want him to come on my show, right? Give him a number. The shit's been going across the screen. Text his ass and tell him to come the fuck on. And attorney is on retainer too. Let's have a conversation. I'm willing to have a conversation for whatever it's worth, if I'm even valuable. He might sit there and be like, there ain't nothing I need to talk to Instructor Mike about. Fuck him. Okay, fine. Got it. Maybe my dick ain't big enough. But now y'all have seen it. You heard it from Instructor Mike. This is Instructor Mike and You've Been Trained. This show was fun. See, I love it when I could be my raw self. I love that shit. It is absolutely amazing. I saw that damn video of his, and I just could not get past the beginning. I'm not going to even watch the rest of this 12-minute trash because the beginning is bullshit. Tim said there are actual exchange centers where professionals do it so parents don't have to have any contact with each other. I know because that's what I do in North Carolina. You see what I'm saying? There were other options if she was so afraid of this man. And then let's talk facts. Just because you got a gun, don't mean you're going to be good with the shit. I got my gun. I wish a motherfucker would. Till motherfucker do. You ain't as good as you think you are. You think because you went to the non-stressful range that the mother... Oh my God. What is wrong with me sometimes? You think because you went to the non-stressful range and you shot at a piece of paper that was like the amber waves of grain just moving back and forth like this and shit. And you thought, oh yeah, I got it all in the middle. Right, well, point to it. And you think that you good because you produce. Don't get me wrong, this is a nice little aesthetic in the background, nice little thing. You think you're gonna be bad because you did this. Boy, them people that's gonna shoot your ass. Remember now, he's supposed to be heavily violent. You shouldn't want to be in contact with him. You should want to be the fuck away. You should want to be away. Right? You should not. Love you too, Katie. You should want to be away. You should not want to be around this guy. I can't even show it. It's not a real gun. That's your shit. It's a little ass gun. Did y'all see it? I can't show it again, YouTube. It's a toy. Don't get mad. It's a fucking toy. Your little gun got the. This your shit. You talking about some. I wish a motherfucker would. That's your shit. This is your shit. Talk about some. Yeah, I got my shit now. Come on, Thomas. I forgot what buddy name is. Come on, Thomas. I wish a motherfucker would. I'm just saying, you ain't with the shits. You not with the shits. I got my red dot. You gotta have time and distance to be able to use that bitch. It's like a cat chasing a fucking laser. This how some of y'all are with y'all red dots. Stay still, don't move. Ah! Ah! I'm just saying, don't. All right, let me get the fuck up out of here. It's time for me to do some of my time. I already took up an hour of your time. All right, so sound off in the comments. What are your thoughts about what I said? I want to entertain what you had to say. I know my show, my channel monetized, but don't nobody send me any fucking what they call them, super chats. And I don't know how to have y'all do that shit. So whatever. I mean, I know how to tell y'all, but fuck it. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. So just give me your free comments. Fuck it. Right. Yeah, bean counter. Yeah, the Harlem Nights movie reference. Yeah. I'll be laughing at them with their red dots. For concealed carry. Not for law enforcement and military. You can have a red dot for that. That makes sense. But for concealed carry, I'll be laughing at them with their red dots. Should be fun. I know what you meant, TNT. You still cool in my book. I just had to attack that point. It's all good. Oh, so you gonna beat my ass? Bet. That was fun. That was fun. Thank you, Dale. I seen the Cash App, Dale. Thank you. Appreciate it. Dale sent the Cash App. Dale used to always support me. And it's not Dale's fault. It's not Dale's fault. I haven't been going live. We are bringing back. It's all good, TNT. It's all good. I know where you were coming from. You were coming from a place of love. You know what I'm saying? You've been with this channel for a minute, so it's all good. But thank you for being you. I appreciate you. All of you all that has been here, who've been my raw subscribers, who's been here. See, people don't understand how my channel got to a minute. Yeah, Dale. Hey, Dale, you asked me a question. I'm going to the inbox to answer your question. Your question was an outstanding one. I'm sorry. I've just been so swamped. I didn't answer it, but I remember that you did ask me that question. So thank you. I appreciate that. And I got the answer for you. Yeah, you say you watched the same video. Yeah, he didn't make no sense. And then they thought it was. Hold on, I gotta read this comment. It fucking threw me off. He said, I am a golfer, and when you hit the ball at the driving range, it's straight and smooth. And then you get out to the real golf course with people, And it's a whole new ball game. You see what I'm saying? Like the practice and the real thing, it could be two different things. You know what I'm saying? It could be two different things. You know, like if the tests don't include pressure, you ain't been trained. If the test doesn't put pressure or have a pressure component, it's cosplay. I mean, it's good to start because we all got to start somewhere. But those tests got to include pressure. So, yeah, you get it. You get it. At first I read it. I thought it was something. I thought it was a troll comment, but it was a metaphor. It was perfect. You're good. Totally fine. I love it. So I got some great news. I can't share it with y'all. I probably shouldn't say this shit, but I got some great news. But I can't tell you all until I finish. I can't tell you all until I finish because people start things and then don't finish. And then it's like, were you going to finish? So I want to finish it. And then when I finish it, I can tell you what it is. So, yeah, good shit. All right, y'all. I'm out of here. If you know of dude, I'll gladly have a conversation with him. But I'm sure if he watches this video, which he probably won't, and I'm definitely gonna make some shorts out of this video. Boy, he ain't fucking with this shit. We definitely gonna make some shorts out of this because I'm attacking this bullshit. I'm attacking this. You know, of all the cases, if there are other cases, you don't get to use the Giles or Giles case as this is the hill that I'm standing on. Nah, you don't get to do that. You don't get to do that. I like StreamYard. Boy, that ban and timeout shit be quick. Dale, I got you. I appreciate you. Katie's Modern Life. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, y'all. This is Instructor Mike. So yeah, like I said before, I gotta say this one part and then I'm out of here. People don't understand like how I got so many subs, and they don't understand that there's a difference between short subs and then people who sub from long videos. So people who sub from long videos and streams, they sub from those, and then they have the bell that is there that they can actually hit the bell and then click all for notifications. But the shorts just allow you to spontaneously hit subscribe, and there's no bell there. So I got a bunch of subs, but my videos have the average numbers that they do average, because those are the ones who probably followed me when I only had like 93,000. I didn't have 1 million. And so they were consistently following me for the content and interacting and stuff like that with videos. But those who did those spontaneous subs, they don't get the notification. So my numbers will be at 37. It doesn't pop like it should for a person with 1 million subs. And that's if you know YouTube and how, subs come to be. All right, so I'm out of here. Peace. Y'all be safe. All that great stuff. Ooh, here we go.